Alright you guys, welcome back to another video. Today I'm actually really excited to talk about this deck. Now this deck, when we first built it, it's Raikou Entei Legend. This is the name of the deck. When we first built it, we didn't have high hopes for it. We thought it was just going to be some sort of like crappy toolbox deck, and it just didn't do enough damage, and just kind of got rocked by certain things, and blah 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 blah. But upon playing it, we realized this deck is actually like super busted. Reason being is because if you didn't know what Raikou Entei does, the first attack for fire and a colorless does 90 damage and discard a fire. Whatever. The second attack is the one that's important. It does Thunderfall, lightning and a colorless, 80 damage to anything on the field with a Poke Power. That's super busted. That means you're one-shotting Lapras and Uxie if they ever bench them. You're one-shotting Claydol. You're one-shotting either Porygon. Those are all staples in any deck that at least I build, and I think most people should build because they are the best bench hitters. This one-shots them all in one attack. Busted. Granted, yeah, it does one-shot everything on the board, so that's why you play Mr. Mime to prevent your own from getting shut down. But still, if your opponent ever plays those down, they're only going to be in play for maybe one turn. Two if they don't have the legend out and they need to find it again, I guess. But just think about how like stupid good that is. Plus, if you do 80 like to like something like, I don't know, Gardevoir or something, and they don't kill this again, you can just Thunderfall again by using like E-Electric or Rush In or Energy Switch or Burning Energy is in the deck. Blacksmith is in the deck, so you can go Blacksmith Smeargle. There's ways to Thunderfall over and over again. So if you need to like do 160 to a bencher with Pokemon Power, holy crap, it's really easy to do when you can do it. Wow, this deck is actually stupid good. So the reason I had it laid out is because I wanted to talk about all the things in the deck at once. You know, you have E-Electric, so you can Dynamotor stuff. You do have the stand-in retreat Zoroark, so that you can stand in, Dynamotor to your Raikou Entei, attach, and then retreat. The deck does play a lot of ways to do Thunderfall over and over again. Like I said, Burning Energy, Blacksmith plus the Smeargle, that sort of thing. But since it does have Smeargle, you can play E-Electric with the Entei to get Fire Acceleration there. You have all these plethora of Lightning attackers. If you're attacking something with 100 HP, like 100 HP bench sitter with the ability, you can Flying Flip it first and then use this. If not, you have a 110 non-EX Pokemon that's doing 100 damage a turn. Electric Ball is not hard to charge up with Dynamotor and Smeargle out, so Tapu Koko does a really good job there as well. You have Zapdos and Rayquaza and Entei for any sort of fighting Pokemon shenanigans, because half your Pokemon, almost all your Pokemon are weak to fighting. So you have those as well. Speed Gain is a good way just to, like, you know, you're playing Lightning and Fires anyways. This card naturally makes you play Lightnings and Fires, so Speed Gain is just like an obvious inclusion, so you can sit it on the bench, slowly charge it up while you attack with something else, and then retreat and pop something. You may be curious about the Zoroark break. Now, I would be able to you could cut Foul Play and one of the Zoras and just go like a 1-1-1 line if you're not a fan of Foul Play, but like, hey, we're playing Dynamotor, so it's pretty easy to get the Foul Play off if you want. But we are playing one Dark Energy over here, and that's because we are playing Smeargle. So one Dark Energy is fine to get out because you can always just Smeargle it back if your Zoroark ever dies. So one, totally fine. I ended up Battle Compressoring it away anyways because, you know, that sort of thing. If, for instance, you didn't want to play that Dark Energy or you thought this card wasn't worth it, you could easily go cut right here. Just cut these 4 cards completely and just play like the 1-1 line here and have 4 free spaces. You don't need the Smeargle or the Zoroark stand-in necessarily to use this over and over again. There's other ways to do it. So you even could cut on the entire Zoroark line if you wanted to, and just cut all this, and now you have just so much room for activities. Just like a thought, I wouldn't. I would probably only cut here if you're ever going to cut something from the Pokemon line. I don't know what you would put in, but you know, you can definitely cut this. So that's the Pokemon of the deck. Super fun. I hope I explained everything correctly. That Raikou and Zapdos are in there because you're playing Lightnings and Lightning Acceleration anyways, so just kind of makes sense. All these Pokemon just kind of, this deck was actually, I thought it was going to be hard to build, but the moment I started reading this and then decided I was playing an E-Electric, the rest of the stuff just like fell into place. So surprisingly easy to build and kind of easier to play, to be honest. Really fun though. Support Pokemon, you're going to be looking at your standard ones here. I am laying these out so horribly. As always, what else is new? You're going to be playing these 10. No real reason not to. Bench space does become an issue with this deck, I will tell you that now, because you kind of want like the Smeargle out, you want the Mr. Mime out, you want the Dynamotor out, you want the Russian Retreat out, you want the Entei Raikou out, and now you're only like left with one spot for this. So bench space is the real reason this deck is actually... I said it was easy to play, but if you're a player that really sucks at managing their bench, this deck is not for you. I'll tell you that right now. Now, I already recorded this video once on preview mode, so sorry these aren't in any order. I know I need to put them in groupings order of like draw supporters and that sort of thing, but I'm the world's most lazy Pokemon player, so I apologize. So yeah, they're not going to be in any order whatsoever, but they are mostly staples. There is I think like one or two that I want to actually talk about. Blacksmith being one of them. Like I said, Blacksmith plus Smeargle makes it so that you can Thunderfall over and over again. Blacksmith also charges up your Entei really quickly. Yeah, those are like the only two reasons you're ever going to use it. You could cut it if you want. Like I said, this deck does have a lot of reasons to Thunderfall over and over again, but if you're one of those people that are like, Thunderfalling once is good, and then you're fine. Then you can cut either this, the Burning Energy, or like the Zoroark, right? Those are your three ways of like using it over and over again to much effect. But what I would say, Blacksmith also allows you to play extra fire Pokemon. If you're looking at playing some sort of fire basic, like Victini and VI would probably be the best one, I would say. You could even play Volcanion if you're looking at going that route. The Smeargle would have to be included if you're going Volcanion, I would say. But the real strength of this deck does lie in the fact that you can just like set Entei Raikou on the bench and just kind of threaten it. You don't actually have to attack with it over and again. Just putting it down and being like, yo, if you ever put a support Pokemon down, I'm killing it instantly with Thunderfall. So it's good just as like the sitting on the bench. So if you're not one of those people that wants to use it over and over again, you can cut Blacksmith. But I think Blacksmith is perfect in this deck. Plus you have a lot of room. If you're looking for room, you could cut Zoroark lines. Anyways, that was a lot there. Now this is actually another one I wanted to talk about. We are playing both Mallow and Oracle. You normally don't see me do that a whole lot. You'll see me just play one or the other. Now the reason that I want to play both here is because of Legend Box. If you don't know what Legend Box does, I'll tell you in a second when we get to Legend Box. But that's why I play both in this deck. And I've been trying. Grady and I played a game. We finally got Lackey up and running. We played a game the other day, and I played both Oracle and Mallow in a deck that like necessarily didn't need to play it. And I liked the consistency of it because Claydol is always out. Those cards were super great for just being like, bam, 2 cards. So, and like I said, I recorded it earlier without preview mode, so these are super out of order, and I apologize for that. There is really no order. These are just kind of random. And I'm not talking about each one because they're they're staple at this point. If you've watched all my videos at this point, you'll realize that these are all just staple cards. However, this one is not. Energy Switch, another way just to keep looping your Entei Raikou. I don't like this card in a lot of decks because it's not a very good one-of, but this deck is like the exception to that because your main attacker discards energies. But it is cool because some of your other stuff has kind of fatty attack costs. So if you ever get hexed, your Dynamotor isn't completely worthless because if you already have energies on the field, Energy Switch can be able to charge up something that you need. I like it in this deck. I don't like it in like 90% of decks, but in this deck it actually works. If you're looking at like other options of Energy Switch, like I would always say either like Delta Mewtwo or Celebration Wind Shaman are just like better. But since bench space is tight, and since you only ever need to like really switch one Energy Switch is nice. Also, you're almost always going to have an energy on your bench because of speed gain Rayquaza. Like you're always going to have that energy there if you're just speed gaining constantly. Sure, you won't be like there's never a turn where you flip like 4 heads, retreat, and bop something. You're always just going to like flip 1 or 2 heads and then be like, oh shucks, I can't speed gain anymore. So Energy Switch makes it so that that always becomes like an alternative acceleration, if that makes sense. Anyways, we are playing Time Space Distortion instead of, you'll see here we're playing a Retriever, but not a, Retriever, but not a Stretcher. And that's because if you flip 2 heads here, it gets your Legend piece back. Like you get both halves of your Legend, bop. Really cool there. you'll see Professor Oak. You'll also see Trader as well as PCOM. So we added a little bit extra search in this deck because Pokemon Collector and Roseanne's Research don't grab the legend piece because it's not a basic, it's a legend. So you have to have alternative ways of searching it. So outside of like Legend Box and like Mallow and Oracle, this is like your best item usage of it. Plus like Luxury Ball and Level Ball and that sort of thing. So Level Ball. Bill becomes actually a little bit more busted because of the double Mallow Oracle. This becomes a lot better card. Usually, I mean, it's a good card regardless, and it should go in almost every single deck, but in this deck, it shines even more because it becomes so important when you have Mallow or Oracle. Swoop and Computer Search, Item Finder, Acro Bike, Junk Arm, and Battle Compressor. You don't mind battle compressing things away because Speed Game Rayquaza exists. And anyways, if you don't know what Legend Box does, it takes the top 10 cards of your deck, and if you find both halves of your legend piece, you play them, and then attach any energies you find there to that. So what Legend Box effectively allows you to do, if you have Legend Box and Oracle and Mallow in your deck, you can, or in your hand, sorry, you can Oracle and Mallow both halves of the legend piece up, and then Legend Box it, so that you get the Raikou Entei out, plus all those energies, and you're attacking. That's why Legend Box is in here. That's why we play both Oracle and Mallow. Just a word to the wise, if you are playing any legend decks, I think this is one of the 2 legend decks in the tournament, and the first one that I have featured so far. If you are playing any legend deck, you need to put Legend Box plus Oracle and Mallow in to guarantee you that Legend Box. It's really good mid-game too, so you know. Stadiums, we're not playing Broken Time Space for once because you don't need your evolution Pokemon. It's nice for your like support Pokemon, but you don't need it. So there's that. Like I said, bench space is an issue, so Skyfield is in. Almost all of your Pokemon are basic Pokemon, so Snowpoint Temple is great. And then Rough Seas to heal your Raikou Entei, heals that. And more importantly, it's so that your Raikou can become beefy. If you throw a Fighting Fury Bolt on your Raikou, this just makes your Raikou just like super beefy while you charge up your backline. And then while I'm here already, the other 2 staple ones, you notice there's no Fluffy Berry, it's only Floatstone. That's because Fluffy Berry cannot be attached to Zoroark Breakthrough because it's an EX, so Fluffy Berry doesn't work. If you wanted to play Fluffy Berry to go on like your support Pokemon, go for it, but odds are Zoroark Rush Stand-In Retreat with Floatstone is going to be all you ever need in a match. So that's why Fluffy Berry is like omitted, and purposefully omitted. You're going to play your Elite Four, plus Dowsing Machine. No reason not to play any of these. Plus Dowsing Machine is just like the best option here. I can't imagine any other option. You're playing Double Colorless Energy, not only for, you're playing it for Zapdos, you're playing it for Tapu Koko, you're playing it for Entei, you're playing it for Raikou if you need to, like DCE. And then Burning Energy, like I said, that's for, so you can reuse Thunderfall and Raikou Entei's first attack over and over again. The 1 Dark Energy, like I said, and then Energy Counts, you're going to be playing 7 here and 4 here. You obviously want to focus on the lightning aspect of the deck because of Dynamotor, but enough fire energies so that you can use like Entei, you can use Raikou Entei's first attack, you can use Speed Game Quaza more effectively. That's why we play 3 or 4. 3, like if you go here, I think that's just like scary to only play 3 personally, but if you wanted to go this way, you totally could. So yeah, that's Raikou Entei Legend. It's kind of a toolboxy deck, but it does counter a lot of things, and it's super fun to play. No evolutions, so you can just start attacking right away. Super fun deck, super good. I highly recommend playing it at your next U150 tournament. Yay, they happen so often. Yay. Anyways, hope you enjoy the video. Thanks for watching.